Jay-Z and Pusha T in the Epstein files? Let's talk about it. They 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 talk about it. Welcome back to She Could Talk to Podcast. I'm your host, Gangalee. Hey. And that's Gangalee on all streaming platforms. If you want to check out my music, look for the red glasses, look for the locks. You'll tell me if I can rock, okay? Okay. But over here on YouTube, on She Could Talk to Podcast, this is where I react to everything. I react to news, sports, crimes, musicians, politicians, YouTubers, TikTokers. If they're talking about it, I'm talking about it, y'all. Okay? Okay. So now this episode, I am truly on the music side of the house. So over the weekend, my birthday weekend, honestly, hey, to me, has been a very jam-packed, eventful weekend. Is always like that for me. So we had boxing with Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. We had the Grammy Awards. Kalani won the Grammys for Folded. Threw my vote in there. We also had news pop up around the Epstein files as they continue to open these files and decode them or whatever. We have news of Pusha T and Jay-Z showing up in these files. Allegedly. Now, I don't know what's going on here, guys. I'm just reacting to it. Now, am I going down trying to find the facts and pull up the files? No, I'm not. But instead, what I did, as you know me, I went over to TikTok. Because sometimes TikTok can get kind of like a ghetto CNN, if you will. You can get a little, concise, condensed version of what you need to do, almost like a Cliff Notes of sorts on what you need to find, right? So as this unfolds, because I don't know how true this is or how thick this will, like if the spaghetti will stick to the wall, if you will. I don't know. So what I wanted to do was just kind of react to the buzz that I am finding and hearing over there on TikTok right now, right? There's a little bit of buzz over there on Instagram too, guys. But TikTok is where I found some of this buzz. So I wanted to react to a little bit of it and just kind of see how we feel about it, okay? So without further ado, we're going to get into some people reacting and telling their opinions of what they found out about Jay-Z and Pusha T ending up in the Epstein files. So let's go.
We do have Jay-Z and Pusha T being named in the Epstein files. We do have to remember these are accusations and we have no way to know if these claims have ever been followed up on. FBI back in 2019. Now, I did search the rest of the Epstein files to see if any other allegations were made against Jay-Z in these files, and there was not. But some things that I did find in these Epstein files were Jay-Z's name being referenced in multiple different emails sent to Jeffrey Epstein. Like this one, back from 2013, the sender's name is blacked out, and it says to Jeffrey Epstein, and the subject is lessons from Jay-Z's business model, Vulture. And the person says extremely clever, but then the rest of it is blacked out. And in 2014, Jeffrey Epstein gets an email from Jess Staley. And Jess Staley is an American banker and the former group chief executive at Barclays, and he spent 34 years at JP Morgan. And back in November of 2021, he resigned because he started to get scrutiny over his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The New York Times created an article saying that Staley was Epstein's chief defender at JP Morgan, helping Epstein maintain accounts at the firm amid internal concerns that Epstein was using those accounts for illegal activities. So Jess wrote to Jeffrey Epstein, "You want to know why we're not Say Paulo? Watch the TV ads on the Super Bowl. It's all about hip blacks in hip cars with white women. That group should be in the streets. Has been bought off by Jay-Z. And then there was another email sent by Mark Lloyd to Jeffrey Epstein back in May of 2015. And it appears to be an article that this man got sent to his email account, and then he turned around and sent it to Jeffrey Epstein. And it talks about a couple different things. But one thing that is referenced in this email and even in the subject title is Jay-Z defends himself against Marina Abramovich accusation with proof of donation. And this article is when Marina Abramovich accused Jay-Z of not paying a donation to her institute after she appeared in his music video for song Picasso Baby. This is that music video that everybody remembers, and Marina is straight demonic and creepy as hell. Now, this is a tip back in 2009 that was sent to the FBI that references Jay-Z, Harvey Weinstein, and Pusha T. It says, on July 10th of 2019 at 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time, someone called the FBI National Threat Operations Center to identify herself as a victim of abuse by Jeffrey Epstein and others. This person said in approximately 1994, she revealed herself as a past victim of abuse by Epstein. She described the abuse that occurred during parties, and she also described someone as a friend of someone. In approximately 1996, she revealed that she resided with someone somewhere. An unknown man abducted someone from her home when she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, known as Jay-Z. This person claimed that Harvey Weinstein inserted his fingers into... She believed that she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida.
Allegedly, guys. So there's a lot, and I'm gonna get into some more reactions, as we go through it. But for the most part, majority of the Jay-Z references in there was like business models, business ventures, business plans, etc. Proof of payment for an appearance in a video, etc. Then it starts to get into this where they're saying that she was well, not her, not the girl speaking, but the person in the file is stating that they were assaulted by Epstein and Jay-Z, allegedly.
This person estimated that she was abducted on 7 occasions, awaking each time in an indoor setting. She said that she suffered abuse on multiple of those occasions in which Epstein participated. She claims that she recalled Leon Black and William Barr, the current United States Attorney General, being present during some of the occasions of the abuse. And in approximately 2006, Blank last recalled being abused by Epstein. On each occasion, she believed that she was given substances clouding her memory. She attributed this by being performed by people assigned as handlers, whom she described as persons who established friendships with the victims. Among her handlers...
So before we get into the handlers, it just hit me just thinking about it. Do you ever remember that movie? It just came out like a couple of years ago. But it was a movie called Blink Twice. Do y'all remember that movie? Blink Twice. The more I'm reading this, the more it sounds like Blink Twice. Now, that movie for me, I've never been through anything like that in my entire life. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But just hindsight. How real is that movie? And the girl who actually wrote the movie, I think that's Lisa Bonet daughter that wrote the movie. Let me look it up real quick because you know me, I like to make sure I'm not saying anything incorrect to the best of my ability. Let me see. Blink Twice. 2024. It came out in 2024. And who is the writer? Zoe Kravitz. I know I wasn't bugging out. Lisa Bonet's daughter. Look, if you have never seen that movie, y'all, please see Blink Twice, the movie by Zoe Kravitz. Let me tell you, every time that movie comes on, I watch it because I'm one of those people that's almost like I got to scare myself twice, if it makes any sense. And it's like the horror I felt the first time I watched that movie, the realistic horror I cannot explain that to you guys. And anyone who has been, you know, riding with me for a year on my reactions here on any topic, and you know when I reference a movie, the movie is 9 times out of 10 a really good reference to what I'm reacting to. Blink twice. Look that movie up. When I saw that movie, I was like, oh my God.
Low
Me and my
battery.
husband watched the movie
Please
and we
charge.
both were like, what? In shock. And then it's to the point that he wouldn't watch it again. He was like, I'm not watching that again. Like, mm-mm. And then one time he came home and I was watching it. He was like, why are you watching that again? And I was like, I just wanted to make sure, like I wasn't bugging out the first time. Like, this is shocking. And I wanted to watch this. Like, can something like this possibly happen? But as we come to know, in present date, 2026, a lot of things are happening more than we believe, and a lot of things are less shocking, or or should be less shocking because it's really happening. That's the vibe I get. I don't know. It just made me think about that. I went to the left with the movie Blink Twice, but I feel like it's relevant here. That's what I'm getting from the ether.
She identified artist Pusha T. In approximately 2007, Blake attended
Low
a party
battery.
following
Please
invitation from an unknown man who approached her as she walked down the street. Weinstein and Pusha T attended the party and her before engaging in abuse. She claimed to have additional information of other people involved in the enterprise and information related to racketeering conduct in support of the trafficking. She further believed that she was under surveillance and stalked at the direction of people involved in the abuse. She confirmed that she was not diagnosed with any mental illness, and she refused to provide her physical address, advising that she maintained no permanent address. Rather, she moved between staying at different hotels. Now, it is very important to note that this is just a tip that literally anybody in the world can send to the FBI. They literally just called the hotline. But at the same time, that doesn't mean it's not deserved to be talked about. It definitely is, and we are seeing the media kind of ignore this part. We don't know if the FBI ever investigated these women's claims or not. That's the problem with the Epstein files as a whole, because
Low
there
battery.
are
Please charge.
valid things that you can find in emails and more that have been out there, but even more so in the new drop of documents that it seems like the FBI never went after. So I think it's important, because of having unknown facts when it comes to the Epstein files, that it's important that we still talk about these things. But at the same time, you have to remember that anybody can put in a tip. And like I said, this was the only accusation out of all of the documents that have been dropped in phase 1 and phase 2 where I see Jay-Z even being referenced. Now, one thing I really do like to look at when I'm going through these Epstein files are Jeffrey Epstein's emails and text messages with a lot of different people. And one of those people is good old Woody Allen, which shouldn't be a surprise because we've all known the allegations that have been against him for years. From what I found, Woody Allen was really, really good friends with Jeffrey Epstein and maintained contact with him for years. So I'm going to keep going over different
Low
things that I
battery.
find in
Please
these
charge.
Epstein files. I'm literally searching for certain people by name and going through everything. Some of these videos I might go ahead and post on here, but a lot of them I will probably post over on my YT
are on the Epstein.
So that's Kadasha Lynn. Oh, Kadisha. Let me go back. Kadisha Lynn, either on TikTok or YouTube. So shout out to Kadisha Lynn because she comes through with she's going in, right? But interesting enough, right? That whole story there around, the scenario of the person who gave that tip in there, and it was an anonymous tip, right? And it was given at a time where we didn't really know about an Epstein publicly, right? Maybe other people did, but we didn't know as far as the extent of what this was. I know I didn't. So it's interesting. Now, am I going to say, like, we got to ride to dawn on this? I'm not riding to dawn on anything,
Low
okay?
battery.
Because it's interesting all around, but it's connected to some very interesting people. So I'm just reacting to Kadisha Lynn and her findings on what has popped up on her findings in the Epstein files, right? But I do agree with her. This guy on the screen that we're looking at here, Woody Allen, do y'all remember Mia Farrow? Do you remember the children he adopted with Mia Farrow? Do you remember the daughter that he then turned around and married? His adopted daughter? All right, let's continue.
These Epstein files, I'm literally searching for certain people by name and going through everything. Some of these videos I might go ahead and post on here, but a lot of them I will probably post over on my
Pusha are on the Epstein files, and people are not.
So this is another person reacting on TikTok that I came across. I couldn't capture his name, so I do apologize. But he is going to give his opinions about what popped off.
Well, Jay-Z and Pusha T are on the Epstein files, and people are not trying to keep the same energy saying it's cap. Nah. Y'all said we believe in everything on the Epstein files. Which one is it? The woman on the files claims that Pusha T and Harvey Weinstein attended a party with her, and then they proceeded to give her that Bill Cosby and then SA. She then proceeded that Jay-Z R-worded her as well back in 1996, even stating that she felt that she was in the home of Epstein. Also, it's claimed that Bill Gates caught something from one of the Russian girls he was messing with and was asking for medicine. And Elon was asking to be a part of the most nastiest party that he got. Some are saying no way Jay-Z's part is true because in 1996, he barely had blown up yet. He wasn't as famous as he is now. Now you have people on social media saying no. They believe everything about Elon and Bill Gates, but they won't believe anything when it comes to Pusha T and Jay-Z, saying that it had to be planted. While others are saying that how are we gonna believe some victims and not all victims on the Epstein files when everyone agreed that whoever names popped up on the Epstein file, they was gonna get that belt basically. What do you guys feel like? Do you guys feel like everything that's said in the Epstein files should be believed, or you guys feel like only select things we should pay attention to?
The next 3 years. So
I don't know if you know who this is on my screen, but before we get to Sloan Bella, to answer his question, should we believe everything on Epstein files? Should we not? My thing is this: it's so much redacted, right, or retracted, blacked out from it. So we would have to see I want to see, if we can't see it unblanked and unretracted, then I think it's kind of defeating the purpose. If I'm making any sense, it defeats the purpose because it's nothing is good is like giving you a clear context, right? Now, yeah, that is the SA case and the drugging and all of that stuff. That's a steep allegation, right? But we do kind of need a witness or someone else, the person, to come up and speak forward. And I believe they did not want to cooperate after they kind of circled back with them to investigate. They didn't want to cooperate or give a further testimony on it. Allegedly. You guys keep me honest there. You tell me. Let me see here. Y'all keep me honest. Y'all tell me there. But this right here is Sloan Bella. Do y'all know who Sloan Bella is? Do y'all know who Sloan Bella is? So Sloan Bella is a psychic. I might have mentioned her before because she kind of like is in the wheelhouse of things that interest me. Right. So Sloan Bella a couple of years ago, she says she made contact with Kim Porter. You know who Kim Porter is, guys? Do y'all know who Kim Porter is? No? Kim Porter, if you don't know, is
Bluetooth connected.
the mother of Diddy's children who is now deceased. They said that she died under suspicious causes. Some people say that it was because of Diddy, allegedly. Some people say that it was a cold. It had nothing to do with Diddy. I don't know. But what I do know is Sloan Bella gave a lot of clear and concise predictions years before Diddy got arrested, went to trial, and is now in jail. And she basically, for the most part, predicted all of it. And I said, she got to be an industry insider that they kind of put down here as a psychic friend to kind of condition us to know what's coming for Diddy without really knowing what's coming. I was trying to make up every excuse in the book. But I have to say, I believe she is a psychic. Right? Because there's a lot of other things, not just Diddy, a couple other things that she has predicted. That was impressive. So now let's bring it up to Sloan Bella. on TikTok. This just kind of made rounds this weekend because of what's popping off with Jay-Z and Pusha T in, the alleged Epstein files. Sloan Bella predicted the Jay-Z scandal 2 years ago, allegedly. So let's get into it.
Next 3 years. So we are in 2024. This is whatever month this is. This is March, the beginning of 2024. So we are headed for the next 3 years, 25, 26, and 27, with the beginning initial stages of the knockdown when it comes to Jay-Z. He is not next in line, he is second to next in line because he's still attached to a hierarchy which encompasses financial, political, and just basically public. So he's not absolutely going to be taken down yet. The next 3 years, yes. There are steps where if he doesn't fall into line, he is going to be shaken up. Now, what I do see 3 years from now, him, his wife, and his kid, I see them with suitcases, and I literally see them leaving.
So this was 2 years ago. Well, going on 3 years ago at this point, right? Because we're in 2026. No, 2 years ago, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 2 years ago. But look what it says right there. The screen capture, right? What she says. She says she sees them with suitcases leaving. It says Beyonce and Jay-Z reportedly secure a 58-acre estate in the UK. Let's continue.
So their residence will no longer be in the United States. This is what I'm seeing. And this happens by 2027, if not sooner, 2025 through 2027. There is a leaving of the energy here, and there is a flipping of his personality. So what I'm seeing is a complete shift in his personality. This is a greed level. I want fame, I want success, I want money. It's not just I'm a businessman. And he is using his queen, which is Queen B, Beyonce, to help him maneuver in that fashion. But it's interesting because what I see is the wax is melting on the candle. So that tells me something as I'm saying it. I'm seeing them melt like wax candles. So the facade that they both have and that their family has is actually crumbling right now. You will see it within 3 years. There are legal troubles for Jay-Z that come up in November.
So I'm not wishing nothing bad on Jay-Z or Beyonce. That's my disclaimer there. But I'm just a reaction channel. I noticed when like for example, just to kind of, me, I like to kind of challenge sometimes the predictions and etc. readings. So she said the facade of the family is crumbling, right? I remember a couple of months back, she dropped her, I don't know if it was Christmas merch or holiday merch, and a lot of her fans were pissed off, like, yo, first of all, the prices are crazy. Second of all this, like everything sold out quick that could be afforded or whatever. And it was just like the prices were not, they felt like they weren't being considered, or today's economy was not being considered, right? Like, yo, we're living in a rough economy right now, but you want us to just give you thousands for a t-shirt, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I remember there's a lot of people reporting on that a couple of months ago, right? And then it started, even though there's diehard fans, I know women that will fly state to state, coast to coast, country to continent to continent to see Beyonce perform. So I know there's diehard fans out there, but even some of them are like, okay, now this is ridiculous. You gotta, come down on the price, or consider a fan, consider the economy, right? And then other people were like, no, they're making a alleged exit plan, and they got to do it big. They got to clean up as much as they can. So I remember that happening. This is my first time coming across Sloan Bella with this prediction. So that's interesting.
November, and they come attached to another person, but not a person that you actually think, which would be P. Diddy spilling the beans as he gets dragged into court. No, it's not P. Diddy, it is somebody else.
Pages. Here is some context for the Pusha T and Jay-Z allegations that were released in the Epstein files. There were 3 million pages that of the Epstein files that were released, right? 3 million pages. Is everything 100% correct or true? No. Is everything 100% false? No. You do
But then
your due
also,
diligence to find
it's a
out what's
lot
true and
that's
what's
blanked
not.
out.
First, I'd like to say this was an anonymous tip line in 2019 that was called by a woman who made these allegations about Pusha T and Jay-Z. The FBI followed up with the woman and tried to interview her, and she declined. By
Exactly. So
that
there you
point,
go.
Jeffrey Epstein was already arrested, and it was public information. And there were a bunch of people calling the FBI hotline to make allegations. We don't know what's true and what's false. I want to start with that. Just context. That's just context. Does that absolve Pusha T and Jay-Z? No. So the Pusha T allegations are from 2007. They claim that Pusha T is a handler in 2007. Pusha T and Malice blew up around 2002. That's when Grindin dropped. That's when Pusha T became more of a household name. 2006, was it Lord Willin' or Hell Hath No Fury dropped? The song that had the tape that has Mr. Me Too. You feel me? That dropped. Pusha T was known at that point. Was he running in the same circles as Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein and them? I would not know. I am not involved with these celebrities. These are just celebrities to me. I don't believe in parasocial relationships. Do what you will with that information. Jay-Z. These allegations are from 1996. It's claiming Jay-Z was running around with Harvey Weinstein in 1996. Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein do have a documented history of hanging out with each other. Harvey Weinstein did call him his friend and say they're New Yorkers. They would run into each other all the time. I found a bunch of images of Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein together. However, I couldn't find anything prior to the mid-2000s of Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein. In 1996, Jay-Z just released his debut album, June of 1996, Reasonable Doubt, which is one of my favorite rap albums of all time, but that changes nothing about me reporting information. Jay-Z sold 50,000 units his first week. I know we all look at Jay-Z as this big superstar. However, he was not that Jay-Z in 1996. He was a bubbling name. People knew him in New York. His name was on the come up. He was doing interviews.
So that's the thing, right? I don't know. I'm not here to try to debunk this man's defense of Jay-Z, and I'm not trying to support any accusations, against Jay-Z or any of that. But I just will say, me personally, and I'm not saying this personally because of Jay-Z or Pusha T or anything. I like both of them. I like both of their music. They're both from my era, if that make any sense. And I feel like every year we peel back these layers of corruption, it just ruins our childhood. Does that make any sense? It's ruining the childhood for us, the memories. Like, oh my gosh. But with that being said, I will feel like, I will say this. I will not be surprised at anything. I'm not going to sit here and try and triangulate the time frame of when this one blew up or when that one blew up, but I am a person with a high level of discernment, so I will not be shocked by anything. But let's continue, because I do have one more thing I want to add that I was trying to find. I couldn't find it, but let's continue.
Reviews on small shows and whatnot, but he was not the Jay-Z Sean Carter that we know now. Does that mean him and Harvey Weinstein didn't know each other? I couldn't tell you because I was not there. I'm not running around saying anything is false. I'm not running around saying anything is true. All I'm doing is providing context. This has not been investigated by the FBI. There was no investigation that took place. This was a call from an anonymous tip line that was documented, and then they tried to follow up with the woman, and she did not interview with them. This took place in 2019.
These words from my team. No disrespecting a lady.
So, really quickly, shout out to Cameron and Dame Dash. In this picture right here, this is a picture of Harvey Weinstein and Dame Dash. Right? You know Dame Dash was the other half of Roc Nation, Rockefeller. Right? And he had a movie a couple of years ago. Also, fun fact in case you don't know out there, because I have a wide, vast, diverse viewing audience. But Dame Dash is the one who signed Dipset. Dame Dash is the one who put them on. He curated that group. But nonetheless, Dame Dash put together a movie called Paid in Full. Are you familiar with that movie? Really good movie. One of my favorites. Paid in Full. Cameron was in the movie too. Harvey Weinstein had some type of, influence or production executive, something to do with the movie too. But it was Dame's movie. In this right here, it says Harvey Weinstein got slapped by Dame Dash for disrespecting women, Cameron says. And the line in the lyric said, "No disrespecting the ladies, word from my team. That's the reason Dame smacked Harvey Weinstein on the set of Paid in Full. I gave him hell about it." Dame Dash said that while on the set, he was judged constantly for fighting with Weinstein, but that he was never revealed that the reason for his behavior. With time, everything always reveals itself, he said. But Dame insists that he is in the right when it comes to respecting women. How many people work with people despite the fact that they know they're touching little girls? He asked. I won't. And I can show you because I made a movie with that person and then I walked away from that person. Because he made a movie Paid in Full with Harvey Weinstein. He smacked him. And it says old stuff coming up from the dark to light. People like Cam, Dame, and even Kevin Samuels looking righter by the day. Meanwhile, the ones we praise are being revealed as PDF files and ex-offenders. I'm looking away. So, what's playing on the loop is Cameron's verse.
These words from my team. That's the reason Dame smacked Harvey Weinstein on the set of Paid in Full. Y'all gave him hell about it. Some foul shit happened once. Capo, tell him about it.
Right. So this is Dame, not Dame, Jay-Z with Harvey Weinstein. Different years with Harvey Weinstein.
And if you take people like,
and I'm not trying to build a case against anything. It's just I fall down these rabbit holes. I tell you guys. But Kanye, this popped up on I want to say it was TikTok as well. But it said Kanye been warned y'all about Jay-Z and Pusha T. Now you know Pusha T was the president of Good Music, which was his label. And we know niggas in Paris, Jay-Z, Kanye, they have their history. He's done production for him. He's been Rock Nation. He pushed Rockefeller. Like, he was Rockefeller. Kanye took it upon himself. After everything they just split. Dame found Kanye. But Kanye decided to stay with Jay when they split. Right? And a lot of people think that Kanye's crazy now and etc. But is he? Let's listen.
Jay-Z and fucking Pusha T, they made their living killing our people. So how the fuck they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best fit for somebody else? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth about anything, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars. Man. Liars are now the face of our culture.
Liars are the face of our culture.
People like Jay-Z and
now, Manic Ramblings, right? It just popped up in the whole interim of, in the algorithms of this as well, because it's all popping off simultaneously with the other things that I'll be reacting to that took place over the weekend. But I just wanted to touch on this real quick because I thought this was interesting. I don't know where this will go. But there was a couple other things that, I was looking for to kind of add to it, but I couldn't find it. Like, for example, I remember there was a story that Jamie Foxx told where he said he went to a Diddy party and, it was an extravagant party. And he said, man, you spent too much. Trust me, I'm going to throw a party and I'm going to, have everyone come out and you're going to see it's going to be budget friendly and it's going to be popping. And he threw a party that kind of rivaled Puffy's party at half the price, he said. Do you remember that? But in that interim of him telling the story of walking through the party, he said how, so many different people in there. Jay-Z was in the corner. He didn't even know that was Jay-Z because this was before Jay-Z was Jay-Z type of thing, right? So I just feel like Jay-Z has that personality and that demeanor that he can move through places and you wouldn't even realize he was there until you realized he was there and he's gone. if that makes any sense. But we'll see how this play out. Oh, another fun fact or interesting fact is Pusha T married a young girl. Right now she's not as young. She's 10 years his junior, right? So some people are like, ain't that bad, and it's not that bad. You grow old together, right? But depending on what circles or what algorithms you fall down, what stuff, I'm just sorting through stuff that's been sent my way. He got with her when he was 18 and she was 29. So there you go. So just looking at all of it, it's just interesting all around, right? And then to circle back, and I'm not picking sides. I have no dog in the race, right? But to see it is interesting that these were some of the main guys that were pushing the rhetoric on Drake. So I said, is this the rollout? Because everyone has been waiting for Drake's Iceman rollout to drop, right? And everyone was like, what is it? He had these very cryptic videos that he's been dropping sporadically for the last couple of months, but we really didn't get a strong single or ideal of what the rollout contains or will consist of, right? I've seen people, and I was trying to, look for some of them to add in here, but I was like, but I seen people reacting on TikTok and saying, this is the Iceman rollout. We're watching it unfold, because literally everyone that tried to come against, in the 20v1 versus Drake it's kind of getting this right now. Getting that. So I don't know how true it is, guys, but is this the Iceman Drake rollout that we're seeing here? But I'm gonna leave it right here, guys. It's a short one. I'm trying not to stay long on it, right? But I'm gonna hit you with the motto and I'm gonna hit you with the brand. But before I do, I want you all to join me in the comments and tell me what y'all think, right? Don't meet me there, beat me there, all right? And also, I want to take a little moment here and give you all an e-kiss. To all of my talkers out there, we're growing every day. And I want to take some time out to say thank you. Thank you for showing up in the posts. Thank you for showing up in my comments. Thank you for showing up on the lives, on my live premieres, guys. Thank you for showing up this, with the super thanks, the super chats, the cash apps. Thank you all. I want to give you an e-kiss, and thank you all for joining the conversation, because without you, there's no me. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell you every time, I enjoy talking to you all. So thank you. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hit you with the motto and leave you with the brand. If you like anything I do, tell a friend. If you don't like anything I do, tell a friend. And from my lips to your ears, I love you, right? But I need you to love me. So go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. Hit the like button. Then when it swipes left, hit that hype button, okay? Then join me in the comments and then share it. Tell a friend, and tell a friend. And until next time, it's your girl Gangali, and it's She Could Talk to Podcast. And I'm out. Peace.
They talk about it. They talk about it.